Good morning, Standard 5 students. Today we will start the revision of chapter 7 and chapter 8. So let us see about the revision of chapter 7 first. Chapter 7, Rocks and Minerals. So you know that Earth crust is made up of many different types of rocks. Over long periods of time, many rocks change shape and type as they are transformed by wind, water, pressure and heat. So all the rocks changes according to their time and by the process of changing due to the heat, wind, water and pressure. All rocks contain one or more minerals. Rocks and minerals are mined. It is mined from the deep inside the earth, and all the rocks must contain one or more minerals in it. So let us see about different types of rocks. There are three different kinds of rocks: igneous rock, sedimentary rock and metamorphic rock. So types of rocks you can see in this picture. Igneous rock is there. In this igneous rock, this is sedimentary rock and metamorphic rock is also there. So three main kinds of rocks are there. So let us see about these rocks one by one. How igneous rocks is formed. Igneous rock is formed due to the volcanic eruption. You can see the magma chamber. From the magma chamber, magma comes out on the surface of the earth through the vent. There is a channel called vent, and from that vent magma comes out due to the heat and pressure inside the earth, and this magma when comes out on the surface of the earth, it is known as lava. When lava cools down and solidifies, it forms igneous rocks. So let us see about this, some important terms about the igneous rock. The term igneous is derived from the Latin word ignis, meaning fire. So that igneous rock name is derived from Latin word ignis, and the meaning of ignis is fire. Now next term is magma. Due to excessive heat, minerals are found in molten state deep inside the earth. These molten minerals deep inside the earth is called magma. So inside the earth there is too much heat, and these are found in the deep inside the earth. This molten materials called magma. Now lava, the molten rock material that comes to the surface of the earth is called lava. Now next we will see about sediments. What are sediments? So students, you need rivers and streams carry tiny particles of rocks, pebbles, gravel, sand, clay and dissolved minerals with them. These particles make a layer at the bottom of the rivers and streams. This settled matter is called sediment. So you know, when rivers flow with high speed, they carry many different sizes of particles. According to the size, they are called pebbles, gravel, sand, clay and dissolved minerals. These particles are settled down to the bottom of the river and another water bodies also. These are called sediments. Now there is another kind of rock that is called sedimentary rock. As the name suggests, it is formed from the sediments. So sedimentary rocks are types of rock that are formed by the deposition of small particles and cementation of mineral or organic particles on the floor of oceans or other bodies of water at the earth's surface. So these are cemented together. All the sediments are cemented together due to high pressure and temperature, and this cemented rock is called sedimentary rock. As the layers of sediment build up over thousands of years, it takes thousands of years to make a sedimentary rock. So thousands of years after, they get cemented, compressed and form solid sedimentary rocks. Now let us see about the formation of sedimentary rock, process of formation of sedimentary rock. So student, you can see first the sediments are collected layer by layer. After that, it is compacted, coming close to each other, and due to heat and pressure they are cemented together, and after that they form sedimentary rock. You can see the picture also under pressure. These all rocks are cemented together, sediments are cemented together and they form sedimentary rock. So all of you understood about the formation of sedimentary rock. Now let us see about the next type of rock, that is metamorphic rock. Let us see about the metamorphic rock. Metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks, they are formed through the change metamorphosis. Metamorphosis means the change in the form or shape of any object. So due to the change of pre-existing igneous or sedimentary rock, metamorphic rocks are formed. So due to the heat and high pressure, when igneous or sedimentary rocks are subjected to high heat and pressure, they change into metamorphic rock. So we should see about the types of metamorphic rocks. Many types of metamorphic rocks are there. Some of metamorphic rocks are slate, gneiss, marble and quartzite. You can see here. Now next we will see about metallic minerals. So minerals are of many types. We can see some minerals contain metals. So these are known as metallic mineral. According to the name, metallic minerals contains metals. It may contain one or more metals. These are usually as mineral deposits and are a great heat and good electricity conductor. Metals are very good conductor of heat and electricity, such as iron, copper, silver, bauxite and manganese. So we use them for electricity wire and for using as cooking utensil also. Now ores. What are ores? We obtain all the metals from ores. These are dug from the deep mines. So you can see different types of ores are there. Gold ore, we can a rock with gold in it. Iron ore, a rock with iron in it. Copper ore, a ore with copper in it. So we can get copper from these ores. And a rock that contains enough metal or metals compound so that it can be mined profitably. So ore is the rock which contains metal or metallic compound from which we can get metal for profit, for our profit. Now next you can see non-metallic minerals. Some minerals don't contain metals, they contain non-metals, so they are called non-metallic minerals. These are a special group of chemical elements which do not contain metals. Non-metallic minerals are example sand, gravel, limestone, clay, potassium, phosphorus, petroleum and marble. They can be used as fuels or construction material. Their use is that only. So let us see about some metallic minerals. You can see here calcite, limestone, dolomite, talc, bauxite, quartz, marble, barite, fluorite, kaolin and also stonite. So these are some non-metallic minerals. Now for coal, coal is also a non-metallic mineral. So how coal is formed, we will see in this. Coal is formed when dead plant matter decays into peat and is converted into coal by the heat and pressure of deep burial over millions of years. As the plant died, they got buried under the marshy areas and started to decay with time. A new vegetation grew on the surface. The process continues. So when the plant died, they get buried under the surface of the earth, and after millions of years, these all materials changes into plant material changes into coal due to high heat and pressure under the earth surface. You can see this picture also with time and pressure how the vegetations are falling and buried under the ground, and now with time, pressure and heat it is changing into coal. Next, coal mines in India. Many coal mines are in India are there. Some famous coal mines are Sohagpur, Madhya Pradesh, Dhanbad, Jharkhand, Raniganj, West Bengal, Neyveli, Tamil Nadu, Singareni, Telangana. So Dhanbad is the known as coal capital of India. It is the largest producer of coal in India. Now let us see about formation of petroleum. Petroleum is another non-metallic mineral that is used as fuel mostly. Fossil fuel petroleum is formed when large quantities of dead organisms, mostly zooplankton and algae, are buried under the sedimentary rock and subjected to both intense heat and pressure. Petroleum has mostly been recovered by oil drilling. Natural petroleum springs are rare. So this is fossil fuel. Fossil means the dead, because it is obtained from the dead remains of animals. So all these animals are buried underneath sedimentary rock, and after millions of years, due to intense heat and pressure, this all changes into petroleum, and it is taken out from the ground by drilling, and in the form of liquid it is taken out. Natural petroleum springs are very less. Now you can see petroleum wells. You can see how it is digging out the borewell. It is put pipes deep inside the earth, and from there reservoir it is taken out. Now petroleum in India. You can see some places in India where petroleum can be obtained. Ankaleshwar, Gujarat; Digboi, Assam; Bombay High, Maharashtra. Now we should conserve our natural resources because it is very much important in our daily life, and it is exhaustible. Minerals are natural resources. It takes millions of years for minerals to be formed. If you do not use them wisely, this will be exhausted very soon. We must use these natural resources very carefully because minerals can be exhausted and it will take again millions of years to be formed. That's why we should use it wisely. Now next we will see about some other chapter 8 revision. So first chapter 8 is what is habitat. So let us see what is habitat. A habitat is an environment where an organism lives throughout the year or for shorter periods of time. The habitat contains all an animal needs to survive, such as food and shelter. So habitat is a place for the living of animals where they get all the facilities that they need to survive. They eat, they get shelter, they reproduce with their family, they live safely, they get protection. All these are available in that environment. That place is called habitat. Now let us see different types of habitat. You can see in this picture mountains, grasslands. You can see different types of habitats are shown here: mountains, grasslands, polar regions, wetlands, rainforest, desert, and these all urban areas, and these different types of habitats you can see. So important habitats you can see in this picture. Now let us see about terrestrial animals. So animals can have different types of habitats. So terrestrial animals, animals that live on land are called terrestrial animals. So habitat in which the animals live on land, this type of habitat is called terrestrial habitat. They live in open grasslands, forests, deserts and polar regions. These are land habitat, like animals that live on land habitat, that is terrestrial animals. Lion, tiger, cheetah, deer, elephant, zebra, bear and horses are terrestrial animals. Now desert habitat. The desert is also a land habitat, that's why it is also a terrestrial habitat. Desert habitat is a home to variety of animals that have been adapted to survive in harsh dry condition. You know, there is very less rainfall and it is very dry and very hot climate. Animals that live in desert include lizards, geckos, toads, jackrabbits, camels, snakes, spiders and scorpions. You can see in this picture some desert animals, those who are living in the desert. Camel is the sheep of desert. The main animal in the desert is camel. Now aquatic animals. Aquatic animals, the water habitat. An aquatic animal is an animal either vertebrate or invertebrate which lives in water for most or all of its lifetime. Some examples are crabs, shrimps, sea snakes, whales, dolphins and water birds are aquatic animals. Now next topic is breathing. So what is breathing? First we should know about what is breathing. Breathing is the process of respiration during which air is inhaled into the lungs through the mouth or nose due to muscle contraction and then exhaled due to muscle relaxation. So we all animals need air to survive, all living things need air to survive. So in this breathing we take in fresh air, that is called inhalation, and we give out carbon dioxide rich air, that is called exhalation. Now let us see about the different organs of breathing in different animals. So all the organs of breathing are not same. In different animals have different types of breathing organs. You can see animals have different body. These are body surface, spiracles, gills, skin, lungs, blowhole, etc. Let us see about these organs. So you can see in this picture earthworm. Earthworm absorb oxygen and release carbon dioxide directly through their skin and thin and moist skin. Their skin must remain thin. Now you can see how earthworm is taking oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide through their skin only. Their skin is very thin and they can take easily oxygen and they give out carbon dioxide through their skin only. Now how does frog breathe in water? You know, frog have lungs. So on land they can breathe through lungs, but in the water they breathe through their skin. You can see this picture also shown how they are taking oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide with the help of their skin. Now let us see about the insects. Breathing of insects. Insects breathe through the tiny holes around the side walls of their body. These holes are called spiracles. You can see spiracles in the insect body. Now about the gills. Gills as breathing organ. Gills are breathing organ in fish and mostly aquatic animals. Those who are living in water, they have gills as breathing organ. You can see the picture of gills here. Now next is lungs. Now most of the mammals and the animals, those who are living on the land, they breathe through the lungs. You can see the picture of lungs here. Most of the mammals, they have lungs as breathing organ. You can see lungs in this picture. Now whales and dolphins, they are living in the water, but they are not actually fish. So they don't have gills like fish. They have blowholes and they come up on the surface of the water to take the air through these blowholes. You can see this picture, the blowhole clearly shown in this picture here. So these blowholes help the whales and dolphins, the mammals, those who live in the water, they take oxygen with the help of these blowholes. Now movement of animals. Movement of animals. So let us see, why do animals need to move? Animals need to move in order to obtain food, to protect themselves, their babies from being hunted by predators, and to build their nest. So animals move for different reasons. They have to protect them and their babies. They need food and they protect themselves by running away from their enemies. So why do animals need to move? You can see they climb for food on the trees. Some are fighting for their territory, that means for space. Some are migrating from one place to another place. You have seen that Arctic tern migrates from North Pole to South Pole. Now to stock for food, they are running for food, and some are for mating also. Now let us see about the types of movement in animals. Animals move different ways. Types of movement in animals are many different types of movement you can see in the animals. So you can see they have different organs also for movement. These are legs, fins, flippers, wings, tails, and so on. Different types of movements in animals are hop, skip, jump, slither, slide, glide, fly, swim, burrow, climb, soar, hover, creep, crawl, wiggle. The list of ways animal move is endless. So many ways are there for the movement of animals. You can see birds, bat, and butterfly are the animal that can fly. Movement in insect, you can see butterfly is also an insect. Insect can move various ways. They can walk, jump, fly, hop, or they can some crawl. Butterflies and mosquitoes have two pairs of wings that help them to fly also. So butterfly and mosquitoes can fly also because they have pair of wings. Now you can see birds can fly because they have very strong muscles. Their bones are hollow to make their body very light, and they have large lung capacity for the energy to store oxygen. More and more oxygen they are getting because they have large lungs. For flying they need more energy. Some birds are there but they cannot fly. Birds that cannot fly, they have wings, but some are unable to fly because their wings are too weak. Their bodies are very large and their wings are very small, weak also, so that they cannot fly. Now we will see about some birds. You can see ostrich, they cannot fly. These are flightless birds. You can see here emu, kiwi. Kiwi is also a flightless bird. Now you can see emu is also a flightless bird that cannot fly. Now we will see some revision questions, students. So let us see about one by one these questions. So first is that, what is weathering? So weathering describes the breaking down of dissolving of rocks and minerals on the surface of the earth. Water, ice, acid, salts, plants, animals, and changes in temperature are agents of weathering. So weathering of rocks means breaking down of rocks due to the different agents like heat, temperature, pressure, wind, and water. Now question number 2 is, name different kinds of rocks. There are three main different kinds of rocks: igneous rock, sedimentary rock, and metamorphic rock. Question number 3 we have already discussed, what is magma, but still I am just discussing here. Due to excessive heat, minerals are found deep inside the earth in molten state. Now these molten minerals deep inside the earth is called magma. Now question number 4, let us see what is lava. What is lava? Answer: lava, the molten rock material that comes to the surface of the earth, is called lava. When magma comes out to the surface of the earth, it is known as lava. Now let us see about 5 number. Name different types of igneous rocks. Igneous rock of many types. Some of them are granite, basalt, obsidian, etc. Question number 6. What are sediments? We have seen already what are sediments. So answer is, river and streams carry tiny particles of rocks, pebbles, gravel, sand, clay, and dissolved minerals. With them, these particles make a layer at the bottom of the rivers and streams. These particles are called sediment. We have already discussed. So the answer is this. Now question number 7, you can see question number 7. Give the names of some names are asked here. So any two metallic minerals, name is gold and copper, you can see. Any two non-metallic minerals are coal and petroleum. Any two uses of coal is used for cooking and it is used in steam engines also. Next is any two uses of petroleum. As a fuel, petroleum is used as a fuel for different vehicles like cars, scooters, buses, and it is also used for dry cleaning of clothes. Now next question number 8 is, give two examples of each. First is igneous rock. Igneous rock examples are granite and basalt. Sedimentary rock examples, sandstone and limestone. Metamorphic rocks examples are slate and marble. Now question number 8 is from, what is habitat? Habitat is the natural home or surroundings of an animal where it lives, eats, grows and reproduces. We have discussed about habitat, where animals get its all facilities to survive, that is they can eat, they grow and they reproduces in their habitat. Name 3 animals that can fly. So 3 animals that can truly fly are birds, bats and some insects that can fly because they have wings. You can see animal habitat. Now you can see animals are living in their habitat. Different animals lives in different types of habitat. Now question number 11 is, how do amphibians breathe both on land and water? You know what are amphibians? Amphibians are the animals that can live both on land and water. So they must need to breathe both on land and water. So when amphibians remain on land, they breathe through their lungs because they can take oxygen from the air, and when they are in the water, they breathe with their skin in water, but their skin has to stay wet in order to absorb oxygen, because dry skin cannot absorb oxygen. So when they need to breathe through their skin should be moist, that means they should be wet. Now question number, you can see how does frog breathe in water. You can see how they are taking, frog breathes through skin in water, they can breathe through skin in water. Now next question is question number 12, give one word answer. Breathe through spikes. Which animal breathe through spikes? Insects. Insects breathe through spikes. Tadpoles breathe through. Tadpoles breathe through gills because they remain in the water when they are baby frog. So they breathe through the gills. Whales swim with the help of, answer is flippers. Next is, animals that eat the flesh of other animals are called carnivores. You can see the answer, carnivores. Question number 5 is, dash live in the dense forest. So orangutans live in the dense forest. That is their habitat. So thank you students. We have completed this revision of chapter 7 and 8. We will meet in the next class. Thank you all of you.